it's Myrna from Diamond Painting with the Besties. How are you? I hope everyone is having an amazing day. It is Friday. Well, I'm filming this before, but you guys will see this on Friday, so happy Friday to everybody. Today we have a whip and chat, and I'm kind of in a different area. I'm doing a smaller kit, which we'll get into. So I'm in my kitchen using my new little phone holder. So hopefully that'll give you guys a better view of what I'm doing. So before we get into that, hi, if you're new, welcome. I hope you'll consider subscribing. And if you've been back before, thank you for coming back. This whip and chat also might get put in, filmed in two different sections because it is kind of late right now when I'm filming, but I wanted to get this started at least. If you don't know what a whip and chat is where I work on my current whip, work in progress, and you can join along with me with whatever craft or activity you have planned for that day. And that's basically it. We just hang out and catch up and spend some time. So let's go over what I'm working on. So right now I am working on Lady Creole by Mandy Manzano from Diamond Art Club. There's her face. I'm taking a break from my DIY Moon Shop kit. I did some special special drill kits for Smashing in the Specials. And this is for POC for Black History. For Black History Month that Mrs. Crochet and Coffee is putting on. So I'm just kind of mixing it up. I have my little, I can't even read. My Betsy Coleman cover minder. Betsy Coleman was the first Black aviator. She was a pilot. She was pretty badass. I have one of my pens from Turning a Dream right here, and then my favorite from Lazy River Wood Turning, and then I have another one from Turning a Dream right here. Also, I'm just using pink wax for right now, and I'm lazy, so I'm just basically using my basic white boat trays. I do have a black Bella Art de Nicole tray that I am using for the items that are not, for the drills, I mean, that are not black. And for my ABs, I'm just using this, the plastic tip pen they usually get in your Dreamer Design kits. Yeah, just pink wax. And then I kitted up using my knockoff, ooh, sorry guys, my knockoff Elizabeth Ward trays right here. Let me try and fix you guys. So I have a lot to talk about. Yeah, you guys, this freaking week, I tell you what. So I'm turning on my light pad because I have issues seeing. Well, it's dark, but when there's natural light, you know, it isn't too bad. But let me pick out a color that I can just kind of go to town on. So we'll just get those little, I just saw them, there we are. You guys, this freaking week, I tell you what. All right, so I'm gonna go kind of out of order because I want to talk about my week, and then I will follow you guys up with more of As the TASM Turns. So Monday, I got up to go to work as normal, right? I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning because I need my me time in the morning to get ready. I'm not one of those people that can just get up and take a shower and get dressed and head out the door. I need to wake up and drink my coffee and play on my phone, check all my stuff, maybe watch some, I don't normally watch TikTok because I will be late to work like every single day because that just sucks you in right there. Yeah, so anywho, I walk into the bathroom because, you know, that's the first place I go when I wake up, and I step in all this water. So I'm literally like, what the actual fuck? And I'm going to warn you guys now that there might be some potty words thrown in here or there, but literally that's how I was, like stepping in water. So I turn on the bathroom light and there is water everywhere in my bathroom. Everywhere. So I freaking wake up Bryant. So he doesn't like, Bryant, I don't wake him up till 5 o'clock in the morning. And he's like, what? I'm like, the bathroom is like flooded. Get up. So he gets up, and of course we're both kind of like discombobulated. So he's trying, goes get some tools out of the garage, takes the back plate off, where your handle is, turn your shower on and off. Goes and does that. And he looks, and the little valve that's in there where you can shut like the water off to the shower is like completely like corroded. He can't get it at all. So here I go, put on a jacket because, it's like, now I know it's not as cold where I live as is where you guys live, but it was like 35 degrees out. So here I'm in my freaking pajamas with a coat on and a flashlight and a screwdriver in front of my house, lifting up the the cover that's on the ground in front of my house, where I'm greeted by a bunch of creepy crawlies, spiders and roaches, and they're all like, hey bitch, like, do you mind? It's 4:30 in the morning. And I am trying to turn the knob so I can shut off water to the whole house. I didn't want to do that, but yeah, I didn't know, because there is a lever on the side of my house that the plumber so kindly showed me. So then I felt stupid, but I don't want to jump ahead. So anyway, I'm like, well, I can't fucking go to work. So I'm helping Bryant, like getting all the towels out of my linen closet to soak up all this water. Some of it had come in to my room, and I'm like, and like, I forgot to tell you guys, like when I walked in, I did hear this like kind of hissing sound, kind of like, I was like, did we not shut the shower off all the way? Has it just been trickling or what? No. So when Bryant did pull off the face plate or the back plate where the handle is turning your shower on, then you could see even more water coming out. And I was like, just great. And I was like, please, Lord Jesus, do not let this be a busted line, at all. There was water in my room, so who knows how long that had been going on like that. And I'm glad we caught it when we did, or else Levi would have floated away in his doggy bed in the bedroom. I mean, it didn't really get that far. It started going along the edges, but we got it like mopped up really quick. So of course I can't go to work, and I'm like flipping out because I'm just like, what the actual hell? Like, why? So anyway, I text my friend Lisa because she's a project manager and she deals with a lot of businesses, like if something happens to like banks or whatever property that she manages, right? Is that it? That was super quick. Oh, these little ABs are not on where they're supposed to go. Well, that wasn't a very good color to pick. All right, so you guys, I'm so used to working out of baggies at these containers. I'm trying to get used to them. I like them, but I'm still just, like I said, trying to get used to them. Anyway, so I'm like, girl. And I'm lucky that she's an early riser, such as myself. So I was like, I need a plumber. Do you know any? Blah, blah, blah. So she gave me like 2 different names. Or 2 different ones. But I looked at one and I was kind of like, I don't know. So I called the one she gave me, and he's like, oh, sorry, I'm like super booked till like next week, but try this person. So I call that person, and then they were like, oh, sorry, we're booked. I'm like, damn, is everybody's shit just like getting messed up right now? But then they recommended me to somewhere else. But this place was like in Fresno, and I'm like, oh my God. And I call them in their book. So I'm just like, oh my God. So Lisa was like, oh, well, there's this other company. I've never really, my maintenance guys are talking and they gossip all the time. So I've heard the name, but I haven't heard anything about them. So I look it up, and it's Parker and Parker. Like, that means anything to you guys, and I looked them up, and they had like really, really good reviews. So I was like, okay, well, let me call. The girl that worked there, Emma, is like amazing. She's so nice and everything. And she was like, oh, well, we can get somebody out there today. and I will call you when they're on their way. I was like, oh my God, thank you so much. So I'm like waiting and waiting. And so I got impatient and I called this other place and they were like, oh yeah, well, we can get you an appointment at 3. I was like, okay. Well, then I was just like, let me call back this original place and let me just see how far out they are. So I called back to the original place, Parker and Parker. I was like, hi, Emma, it's Marina. I don't mean to bother you or this or that, but do you kind of have a time zone and this and that? She goes, oh no, they'll be there within the hour. I was like, okay, awesome. So I called the other place back and canceled. So they show up, this guy shows up, Mr. Otis, so awesome, so nice, just kind. Everything was up front. He let me know how much it was going to be an hour. You know, I signed the thing and he found out right away that it was, in fact, the valve that busted. And he's like, I am not going to be able to change it today. And I have an appointment, but there's 2 other people that are going to come and they're going to cap off your lines. So that way you can turn water on to the rest of the house. I was like, okay, awesome. And then I was like, okay, well, then I was like, oh shit, I need to have them. I'm like, well, my boyfriend turned off the hot water heater for safety reasons and everything. So he was like, yeah, no problem. Let me, I'll let you, just let them know and they'll turn it back on. Oh, let me back up real quick so you can see where my brain is. Like I'm super frazzled, right? So while I'm waiting, right, the water is shut off to the house. I told Bella didn't even go to school. So, I mean, I could have taken over to Lisa's house to shower or whatever, but it was super early and I was just like, didn't want to deal with it. So I was like, screw it, right? She didn't have anything important going on. She'd catch up on homework or whatever. So here I am, I'm like, Brian, I have to go to the bathroom. And he was like, okay, we'll just go out, take one of the, I have a bunch of 5-gallon buckets that I use to fill with water when we go to swim meets. And I bungee them to our tent, our pop-up when it's really hot and stuff. But, it gets windy out here. And so my tent doesn't blow away, right? So anyway, he's like, go and get water and fill the tank of the toilet. And that way you can flush it. I'm just like, oh my God. So I have to go through the slider in my bedroom. And I'm just like, and of course, like Zeus is like all up in my business. And I'm just kind of like, Zeus, do not trip mommy because I'm going to dump this gallon of water. I was like, this is like the most primitive shit, right? Me and my first world problems. I was like, I am not used to this at all. So anyway, they come out. I'm like, oh, thank God, right? Because, I mean, I could brush my teeth because I'll just get a bottle of water and brush my teeth that way with the bottle of water. Not a big deal, right? So they come cap off the lines. I'm glad that they, the first, when Mr. Otis was there before, Bella went outside with the dogs. And my dogs, I don't know if you guys seen those TikToks. My dogs are about the sheets and not the streets. And if they are locked outside for even if it's the shortest length of time, they lose their shit. Like, they're literally like, excuse me, you have the damn audacity to keep us outside. And they're like, Mom, let us in right now. But they weren't too bad because Bella was outside sitting with them. She said Levi did protest some, but he wasn't as bad. So they cap up the thing, the second people come and I was like, do you mind dogs? And they're like, no. Do they bite? I'm like, no. Like, seriously, who's going to be like scared of 2 dogs that have Harry Potter collars? I mean, Zeus is literally House of Hufflepuff. So anyway, Zeus was all up in their business. I have a stand-up shower in my, it's just a shower. Then I have a tub separate in my master bathroom. And Zeus was trying to walk in the shower with one of the plumbers, to help. He was all up in his damn business and everything. Levi was just laying in the bed supervising. So they get it all capped off, super excited. They're like, don't worry, we'll be back tomorrow. Mr. Otis will install this, la, 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 everything's gonna be good. So I'm like, oh, before I forget, can you please turn the hot water heater back on? Because my boyfriend turned it off. They were like, no problem. So his name was Rick. Rick goes to prime the pilot, and the button is cracked, the plastic button, and so it won't depress to prime the hot water heater. So he's like, well, I can't take it off and just leave it that way because, you know, it's a safety violation. He also let me know that my control valve, I said, well, how are we supposed to fix that? He's like, well, you might have to change the entire control valve. And I'm like, oh my God. I was like, Jesus. I was like, well, how much is that? He was like, well, I'll look it up and I'll let you know. And I was like, you know, because I definitely don't want to get a new furnace, because for them to install, like remove and install and purchase a new furnace through them is like $2,500. And I can't just go buy a new furnace and have them put it in because like their company doesn't allow them to do that. Understandable, right? I don't want to buy a new furnace any damn way. Like at all. Oh shit. I almost dropped that. See you guys? I'm just... Lindsay, where is my first class ticket for the Hot Mess Express? Where is it? I need first class. So anyway, he was like, let me find out how much control arms are and this and that. So he calls me back and he's like, well, I have 2 different ones that I'll send with Mr. Otis tomorrow. Hopefully they work, because so control arms on your hot water heater have a spline that goes in. Well, my hot water heater is the original one with the house, so I'm sure I'm due for a new one very, very soon. And, oh, I don't want that long. I need to switch this out. Let me use my 4-placer. I need to stop bumping you guys. That's what I need to do. So, okay. So I was like, all right, no problem. So I'm like, hopefully it'll work. So I have to take another day off work. I'm like, all right. So I'm like waiting and waiting, because my appointment was supposed to be between 10 and 12. So 10 and 12 comes and goes. And I call Emma back and she was like, I'm so sorry. An emergency had come up. They'll be out there more like 3. I will let you know. I will call you. I'm like, okay, no problem. Right? Because emergencies happen, and I'm not going to get mad because they did the same thing for me. I'm sure once they hear that you don't have water, it becomes like an emergency. So I'm sure that people had some other, you know, people had appointments on Monday as well, and they sent somebody out to help me. So I was like, all right. And their communication, their staff, everybody was amazing. So I'm not going to complain. I have nothing to complain about. It happens. All right. So in the meantime, now we're going to jump around just a little bit. I don't know if you guys remember in a previous Whip and Chat, or if I've told you guys individually or what have you, we had a huge storm back in October, right? It blew one of my palm trees over into my pool, and it was a hot boo-boo mess. Like my poor pool was like disgusting, right? So I have had pool service with this one pool company in town for at least 6 or 7 years, right? They were absolutely amazing. I had this one guy, Matt, who was the best, and he brought treats for the dogs. The dogs loved him. He did an amazing job. My pool always looked awesome, because I don't have time. I used to take care of my pool on my own, and I mean, I clean my filters, everything on my own. And it just got to be too much for me because I got busy, and the final straw was, it was the summertime, and we had just gotten back from 4 days of being away for Junior Olympics, and my pool was like this funky green color because I didn't have time to mess with it. And you know, when it's 115 out here, your chlorine burns up in like 30 seconds. Like your little chlorine tabs that float around. So I was like, screw this, I'm going to get pool service. Well, their turnover rate has been so high. And once that storm hit, it's like I seem to be having issues with them. Like if somebody was filling in or whatever. Now, this company has had the code to my garage. So because my gate, I have a big one door gate that swings out for RV parking. And it's really heavy and it's problematic and it's just a pain in the butt. So it's just easier for them to go through my garage and go through the side door. Like way easier, right? Not a big deal. Well, then I'd get noticed like, oh, gate was locked or no one was home, this or that. So I have to call and be like, hey, did this person not have the code to the garage? And they're like, oh, we'll have to send them back out, this and that. Well, then I had this one young kid who was filling in and he came. The same thing happened. I had to call back. They sent him back out. So I sat and I waited and I saw him and he pulled up and he sat in his car in the pool, in the company, you know, like the company one, right? He didn't even get out. And then he was about to drive away. So I walked out there and I'm like, hey, dude, what's up? And he was like, oh, well, the gate was locked. I was like, okay, well, I'm home. Did you want to knock? And he was like, oh, I'm like, didn't they give you the code of the garage? He's like, well, I don't feel comfortable doing that and blah, blah, blah. You know, I'm from, you know, the neighborhood. My neighborhood was really bad and we just didn't do that. I'm like, okay, I get it, but I'm home. So I can put the dogs up or whatever and let you in. So I don't think that's what he was trying to hear, whatever, but that's how it is. And when I'm paying, then it was $95 a month. And now it's $105. You like for reals need to, where is that line? That single line. Oh, here it is. Like if I'm paying $110 a month or $105 a month for pool service, you're going to need to do your damn job. So anyway, then it got a little bit better. But the thing is, I'm still dealing with this shitty looking fucking pool. Like, why is this stuff still looking nasty? So fast forward to because they come on Thursdays, right? Fast forward to last Thursday. I was home and I think, why was I home? I don't know. I don't know why I was home. Anyway, I didn't even hear the pool guy come in or whatever. I didn't hear anything at all. You know, my dogs are old, so they don't always like alert me now. But they seriously like left me a thing on the door saying gate was locked, new pool guy. So I call Vasco's, that's the name of the company. I call them and this young girl that works there answered the phone. Told her who I was and everything. I'm like, hey, the pool guy just came. He said the gate was locked. I'm home. I'm like, you guys have my garage code to get in. And she was like, oh, well, I don't know what happened and this, that, but we'll send him back out. They didn't send him back out. I'm like, you know what? I have had enough. I am so sick of this damn bullshit. I don't got time for this tomfoolery and shenanigans. I don't have time. So I was like, I need to find a new pool place. So I call this other place that's the next town over in Lemoore. They are so damn expensive. And I understand because the cost of everything is going up like a lot. So my friend Lisa has had this particular pool company for a long time. So she's kind of got this locked in rate from forever ago. And she gets a military discount from her husband, right? Because, well, Sam's retired now. So anyway, I call them and they're like, oh, it's $145 a month. And I was like, ugh, right? I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, do you guys have military discount? And they're like, oh, we only have active duty. And I'm like, what? I'm like, all right, well, whatever. And I said, okay, does that include cleaning the canisters and like the filters. And they were like, oh no, it's $140 a month for this type. I was like, well, I have like the tall cylinder ones. They're like, oh, you've got those. I think they're called like cartridge or whatever they're called. They're like, no, those are $150 each time you get them cleaned. I'm like, are you serious? I'm like, all right. So I had made an appointment with them. They said it also depends on the size of your pool. So my pool is like a decent size. It's not huge, but it's not like a little jelly bean either. And I was like, whatever. So I just made the appointment so they could come and do the analysis on it. So I was like, all right. Well, then I found this other, I was still looking around because that's why I like to, compare or whatever. So while I'm waiting on, fast forward, while I'm waiting on the plumbers to get here, I was like, let me call this other dude it's called Blue Glares Pool. And it's like private, it's a small business because it's, a guy, it's not like a storefront or anything like that. He's licensed and his reviews are awesome. And I was like, I need to call this person. So his name is Jesse. And I called him, super nice on the phone. I was like, look, I found, I saw your stuff online, blah, blah. And he's like, well, I only take a certain amount of people and everything, but where do you live? Shoot me your address and everything, and I'll come take a look at your pool. And I kind of explained to him what was going on. So he was like, okay. Literally, he's like, sends me a text like 15 minutes later saying, hey, I'm going to be over in that area, over in your neighborhood in like 45 minutes. Are you home? And I'm like, yeah. And because he's like, I actually have clients already over this way. I was like, oh, okay, cool. So he came over and everything. And he took a look. He's like, okay, it's not as bad as I thought. Like, you guys, when I say the other company didn't do anything, the little bag on my sweeper, on my vacuum, has been filled with leaves forever. And I'm not doing it. I mean, I probably should, but I'm just like mad. So anyway, he's like, okay, it's not as bad as I thought and everything. So he takes the little strip of paper, to test the pH. The acid in my pool was so high. So the best obviously is like no color. And the worst is purple. And my shit was purple. I'm like, what the fuck? He's like, you also have a bunch of phosphorus. And I started getting mustard allergy. And I was like, well, thank God I freaking, found it now. Because when you let that stuff go, that's what happened to my hairdresser's pool. She got black mold. So when you get black mold and everything, then you got to not only pressure wash it with acid and stuff, sometimes you have to get your pool replastered. And ain't nobody got the money or the time for that nonsense. And that type of shit is not covered. Now, my pool equipment is covered under my home warranty, but not like plastering the pool or anything. That is not covered under home warranty. Like I have a light in my pool and it changes different colors. If that breaks, that is not covered under home warranty because that's an extra. So anywho, he told me his plan. So one of it is like $130 a month, but I have to provide my own chlorine tablets, or $155 a month, and he provides his own. And I quick did the math in my head, and it's actually cheaper if he provides the chlorine tablets. Also, it takes any sort of liability off me, because if something goes wrong, it will be easy for him to come back and say, oh, well, you didn't do this, or you forgot to get chlorine, or blah, blah, blah. So that way I'm like, I don't want no responsibility, just do it. But the best part is it includes the filter cleaning, not twice a year, but 3 times a year. So that sold me. Plus, I don't want to be that person with my busy schedule that I forget to pick up chlorine. Like, I'm sure I could get like a deal at Costco for it, but still, it's still fucking expensive. So he was like, here's the thing though, because of all those things, it will cost me more money and more time for him to shock the pool and try to lower the acid and all that. Plus, you've got the phosphates in there, and the mustard allergy. He goes, we'll have to drain your pool. And I was like, ugh. All I could see was like dollar signs. In my head while he was talking, I literally was like, oh my God. I was like, all right. He goes, and then we're going to, acid, gently pressure wash the acid, scrub it with acid and everything. And basically, and just start from scratch. Which makes sense too, because then he's not wasting his time and resources trying to correct somebody else's neglect. And I was like, all right, well, how much is that going to cost? And he's like, $550. And I was like, oh, thank God. Thanks, sweet baby Jesus, right? And I know you guys are probably like, $550. I'm like, okay, you guys, I'm over here thinking that this shit is going to be costing me like $800 to $1,000 to do that. Will my water bill be a little higher? Yep. But it's not going to be that much higher. Ooh, that's not where that goes. It's not that much higher. And especially now because it's not hot yet, where I'm, where my sprinklers and my AC and all this stuff's going on. So it's actually a better time. So I was like, all right. And I was like, give me the $155 a month. So, of course, he's got to let the city know. So tomorrow he's coming to drain the pool and all that stuff. Also when I have service, because, I work and I don't work from home. And I can't keep my dogs locked up all the time. Because, they're old and they have to be able to go potty. I work, and my commute is like 45 minutes to an hour away. So they have to be able to go potty. So if I have like, the pool guy and stuff, he's got to be like the dog, not be okay with dogs. So while I was talking to him, we were out back, and here, of course, here comes Levi first. And Levi's like completely unbothered and just comes over all being cute and everything. It's like says what's up and everything. And then here comes Piggy. And Piggy starts woofing a little bit, but his tail's wagging. And he comes over and he just wanted to love on him. So they're all friends now. So that's cool. I did explain to him to please keep the patio furniture in front of the stairs once he is done, because we have to block the pool off, because Zeus, especially in the summer, since he's on the large size, he's a little rotund, he likes to get in the pool at his leisure, usually between 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning, and then come through the doggy door and come in my damn house soaking wet, which I find out the hard way because I step in it as soon as I wake up. Of course, he's in his bed thinking he's going to get away with it. And it just sucks. Plus, I worry. I mean, he only goes in up to his belly to cool off his belly. But he is not a strong swimmer at all. So I get worried when he does that. So he was like, no problem, this and that. So I'm like, all right. Well, I got that taken care of. When I sent my last bill into the pool company, the other place, I wrote a letter explaining why I wanted my service canceled, but I did call them today and say, yeah, cancel my service. And the owner did not seem very happy, but clearly she didn't give a shit because she didn't ask me why or anything like that. She's like, okay, I'll take care of that for you. But she'll find out why. That's all right. She'll find out why when she goes to do the bill and sees my letter in there of all the reasons why I was unhappy. So that's one thing that I got taken care of. Now it is good. So yeah, it's gonna cost me a little bit more a month. That I'll just make it work, and I guess that'll take out of my me budget, for lack of better words. So back to, 3 o'clock comes and I'm like, oh my God, because they always will be like, okay, we're going to call before the plumber comes out. So anyway, it was like 3:10 and Emma calls and she's like, I am so sorry. They got held up with an emergency, but they will be out first thing tomorrow morning at 8:30 in the morning. And I'm like, all right. So I was kind of upset because I had to take, what is this? Is this an AB that got stuck? Yeah. Because I had to take another, that's 3 no pay days that I have to take from work. And I'm like, shit, right? I'm like, fuck. So I called work to talk to my supervisor because normally it is, you're only allowed 2 call-ins and then you have to bring like a note. But they knew what was going on and Bryant went and talked to them. So all I had to do was just call in as usual. So tell me, so yesterday, right? They weren't coming. I had stuff to do. So I was like, Bella doesn't care. Bella will take cold showers, right? I can do it too, but I don't like to. So tell me why. I had a pot of water on the stove boiling, and that's what I used to wash up with. And my friend Lisa's like, why didn't you just come over? And I'm like, girl, I didn't want to lug all my stuff over. It's fine. Like, you guys, I have been in worse and less desirable situations, right? At least I'm in my own home. But, I've been on the boat. I've been in there when, you're taking a damn shower. And you can't just let the water run on the boat, They have, that shit's all recycled and through this, they take the seawater, but they have to, purify it and do all this stuff so we can shower. And, there have been times where you're playing, it's almost like playing Russian roulette, except with the shower. You're like, what you do is you get in there and you get wet and then you shut the water off. And then you lather up. I mean, I'm talking lather like face, hair, body, everything. And then you turn the water back on. And then you rinse everything off, shut it off, put the conditioner on, wash up more if you need to, and then you're out. No Hollywood showers. But there were, tell me, and not to get off subject, but yeah, trust me when I say that some of these girls take their sweet ass time in that shower. But there have been times where I've been taking a shower and the water just shuts right off. There have been times where we've taken a shower and the lights have cut off and the whole ship goes what they call dead in the water. And they practice these different exercises and everything. Do they say anything? No, they don't make any announcements. They just do it. So you're standing there cold in the damn shower, all soapy and stuff, waiting for the water to come back on. You always keep checking by turning the water on, and the pipes will rattle and like a couple drops will come out and you're like, oh my God. Meanwhile, you want the water to come back on because the sooner it does, the sooner you can get in bed and go to sleep, right? So, or, I could have been, I've been in Korea where everything was a tent city. The showers were tents, and sometimes that water wasn't the warmest it could be. It kind of sucked because you're already in Korea in the wintertime. And I worked at night, so, we would get out, it'd be almost dusk, and it's already -5, 0, stuff like that out. So you're freezing. You go back to your tent, which is all damp because the day shift had the potbelly heater on when they woke up to warm up, but you can't leave it running because of, obviously, safety and carbon monoxide. So you get to come home to a nice cold, wet sleeping bag. The showers were intense, everything, it was tent city. So when I say I've been in worse, I've been in worse. So I didn't really think it was that big of a deal. Let me tell you, but I didn't wash my hair. I just pulled it back. So when I woke up this morning, my hair was everywhere, and Bella was like, Mom, you literally, my hair was sticking straight up like the Bride of Frankenstein. Sorry, guys. Because, you know, Italian people, I don't know about you guys, but this Italian right here is greasy. Throw a little Habibi in there, Habibti. Yeah. So, anyway, then Emma calls me at 8:30 because that's when the plumber was supposed to be here. I am so sorry, Miranda. He's running late. I promise I will call you, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all right, no problem. Fast forward, Mr. Otis comes back out. He puts in the new valve, which is absolutely glorious, and it's really pretty. It's a pretty brushed nickel. I'm super happy. You know, the wall isn't leaking. I didn't have any water damage in the wall. I don't see any on the floor in my room yet. And he was able to just change out that black plastic button on the control arm on my hot water heater. All said and done, $827. Now, yes, that sounds like it's steep, but it's actually a very good price. Half was for parts, half was for labor. Everything was written down. So anyway, Mr. Otis was saying what happened, why they couldn't come out, is a restaurant had an issue and their pipes were all clogged up and everything. So he had to go out and help another guy that was on that job, and they didn't leave till 11 o'clock at night. So I also thought it was cool because Mr. Otis, he grew up like in LA his whole life. So his daughter, then they grew up in like Santa Clarita. Well, his daughter was like, no, I'm just going to stay here. And he goes, with your grades and everything, you could go anywhere and you just want to stay here. So she took him on his word for it and went to, she went to NYU. So we had all this stuff to talk about. He's super cool guy. It's super amazing. Just, yeah, I'm glad it's over with. And let me tell you what, I got in that shower. It did take a little, I did wait for the hot water heater to do its thing. The water did get nice and warm. Not as hot as I like it, but I'm going to give it till tomorrow and then sneak out and adjust the temperature on the hot water heater if I have to, just a little bit. But let me tell you, I took the longest Hollywood shower. I think I was in the shower for like 40 minutes. I had to wash my hair twice. I had to deep condition it. I was just like, and I still don't feel like 100% clean, but I'm sure after tomorrow I will. But yeah, you guys, that has literally been my week. So it sucks because I need to take off early next Friday, just a couple hours, because it's the first day of Junior Olympics. So I need to go back to where I live, get Bella out of school. Hopefully she can at least pack some stuff throughout the week, but it's really hard for her to do so she can pack her stuff and we can get back up there because we have warm-ups at 5 o'clock next Friday night because she has 2 relays. And then we have 3 days. I most of the time I take the day after JOs is over with. So that Tuesday, the day after President's Day, I take that day off. Nope, it's not going to happen because I cannot afford to take any more time off work. And plus I have to save my day. I have to save something because Brad's graduation is coming up and I cannot miss that. I mean, I would take no pay even if I didn't have any hours, but still. I'm just like, oh my God. So that kind of stressed me out a little bit. My savings account is stressed out because it's almost totally depleted. So any kits that you guys see are not something new that I have bought. They were either pre-orders or they're, you know, I'd ordered them a while back and they're coming from overseas. So hopefully Diamond Art Club and Dreamer Designs will mind their own business and not come at me. I had to put my order of what I wanted for Treasure Studios, oh, not Treasure Studios Art, for Uniquely Yours Down Under, because their new releases I fell in love with. Because if you guys know, I'm huge 80s pop culture and things of that. And so that's why I feel like I asked Christopher, I was like, Christopher, did you have anything to do with this new artist? Because why is it literally everything I love? If you guys haven't seen it, I forgot what her name is, but she literally has 2 Bowie kits. She has a couple from, like, she has one of Sarah, she has one of Bowie and Sarah from the Labyrinth. There's Hoggle, and there is one of Magenta from Rocky Horror Picture. Now, I literally feel, I mean, you guys know I don't really feel this, but I'm just being extra, right? I feel like I'm being targeted, like somebody purposely did that. They were like, they knew. So if you're going to do Magenta, you've got to do all the characters. You need to do Riff Raff. You need to do Rocky. You need to do Janet and Brad. You need to do Tim Curry, Dr. Von Frankenfurter. And, oh my goodness. And then the other chick, I can't believe I can't remember her name right now. I am a horrible fan. I seriously can't believe I can't remember her name. Anyway, you guys know who I'm talking about. You know. So I'm just kind of like, why? Why? But I've got to be strong. It'll be there. It's not going anywhere. It's not going to sell out. They're made to order. Keep telling myself that. So I'm relieved yet stressed at the same time, if that makes any sense at all. I'm just thankful that it's fixed, and it got fixed so quickly. Yeah. So I can't even see the timer, so I don't even know like how far of this I'm into. I don't know how long I've been talking. I didn't set a timer. Normally I can see when I use my other phone stand, but I can't with this one. But what do you guys think so far? Do you like this angle better, or do you like the side? I would think that you guys would like this better because you can kind of actually get a more close-up of what is actually going on. I don't know. Let me know. Drop me a comment. So much has been going on. Now, what I'm about to talk about right now, it's not up for a debate. It's not up for an argument. It's not up for any sort of, I'm not trying to fight with nobody. I'm just letting you know policies and how it is. And it is what it is. You don't have to agree with it, but I am just telling a story. So I don't know if you guys have seen my little quick story that I had posted last week about one of my coworkers. I'm going to call her Typhoid Mary. I'm sure some of you already know. So this is an update as the TASM turns. Now, what is a TASM? It's just the name of the unit that's in Fresno. It's the 106th TASM G in Fresno, right? The Army has it all set up. I'm sure Ruby Q knows since her husband's in the Army. Anyway, it is like a novella where I work. It is like, that is what gets me like up and going sometimes because of all of the drama, and I am here for it. I don't know if you guys ever saw that one TikTok where that guy was like, if you hear me say that I was minding my business, that was a lie. I was minding my business. I was minding everybody's business. I had my storyline going. I had a protagonist. I had an antagonist. Yeah, that's literally me. And I just sit back and enjoy it, right? So obviously you can tell that Typhoid Mary is an anti-everything, right? She's just something else. Well, anyway, it is company policy. So originally they had a date where all employees had to be vaccinated. I don't care whether you agree with it or not. That's what it was, right? So a bunch of people at work have put in exemptions, right? I don't really give a fuck what they do because I just worry about myself when it comes to that. I just sit back and watch. So we have to wear masks at work, right? Not only is it a company policy, it is a state policy, it is a city of Fresno policy, and it is a policy coming down from the commander for the Army National Guard, right? 4 different policies. So Typhoid Mary refuses to wear a mask flat out, and she doesn't want to get vaccinated. That's her choice, right? That's cool. So one of my managers comes through with a letter saying that the mandate has been suspended. So she all happy as fuck, walking around, you know, shit-eating grin on her face, probably calling everyone and their mother to tell them this and that. Well, and manager was like, but you need to wear a mask. And she just gave him like freaking stank eye, like straight up stank eye, right? So next day, Friday, right? She gets called into the office and she got written up, which she refused to sign. All right, that's fine, whatever. And she kept bringing up, well, how come the guard doesn't have to? Are they all vaccinated? And the manager was like, I don't know, because it's not my job or my responsibility or my business to track what the guardmen are doing. And she kept bringing that up. If I had been in there, I would have been like, bitch, if you want to join the guard so bad, if you're so worried about what the guard is doing, quit this job, go join the guard and go do what they're doing, right? Spoiler alert, everyone in the guard that's left is vaccinated there. So the policy from the guard is that if you are vaccinated, you are not required to wear a mask. It's highly encouraged if you're in the guard, right? I'm not trying to get sick. I am too busy to be getting everybody's cooties, because let me tell you what, these people be dropping like flies left and right. La Chicharona and her freaking cousin and her damn sister just be all up in there wreaking havoc, right? That's what I call her La Rona or La Chicharona. My neighbor calls them La Cabrona. Anyway, so then she comes back on Monday. Oh, she got sent home too. Because the company, this is coming from HR also, that she is a risk. She is a liability. She is a risk. So she goes home. She comes back on Monday, right? Doing the same thing. This time Steve and Bryant came over because Bryant is the vice president of our union. And she gets sent home. And is told, as per HR, not to come back until notified. Well, she calls our site manager on Thursday or Wednesday, informing them that she will be coming back to work on Thursday. That's why I didn't go to work. That's why I didn't go to work that Thursday. All right, now I remember. That she will be coming back to work on Thursday and she will not be wearing her mask. All right. So they go over there. They had a conference call. They tried to compromise with her about certain things. She flat out refused everything. Basically, she wants her cake and she wants to eat it too. And she wants to be able to do whatever the fuck she wants to do and screw everybody else. I'm I'm on my own program. She keeps saying there aren't policies, there aren't this. Yes, there are, girl. Where have you been? There are policies. Like, not only has she been known about these policies, but they're everywhere. They're in all the break rooms and everything. So anyway, she was, the company told Steve to send her home and to take her ID card. She refused to give up her ID card when they were outside, which I was like, is she dumb? Your contractor government card is not your personal property. Like, you don't get to just keep that at will. Like, you're told to give it up, you need to give that up. She refused to and drove off. So now it's turned into, I mean, before it was straight up insubordination prior to that, but now it's like major insubordination. So Steve told the gate guards that she is not allowed on this facility and you will not let her in. So then these fools going to get all ass hurt, right? And then they're going to cry to the COR. So the COR is the officer, like the liaison between the guard and the contractors, right? Boo-hooing and crying. So I told Brian, I said, these fools are crying because they actually have to do their job. Like, you guys are security and you don't even want to do your job. They're like, ooh, why do we have to listen to Steve? And the COR, she said, you're gonna do what you're supposed to freaking do, and you're not going to let her on. So I was like, oh, God forbid you guys actually have to do your job and pay attention to who rolls through that gate. Because there have been times before where they haven't paid attention and some crazy drunk homeless dude rode his bike straight up on there and they couldn't even catch him with their sorry asses. Like, because it's not like I mean, it's small. It's just a gate and then the hangar and then there's another gate with a code. But the thing is, though, if you just go straight through the gate, there's normally another gate where you can just drive through. And that's how he got on to the upside where all the helicopters are. So I remember that. That was pretty interesting too. So anyway, Friday, she tries to come in. I was already at my desk and they wouldn't let her on. And I guess she was being a complete Karen. So Bryant and, no offense to the cool Karens out there, and Steve and Bryant were on their way. But by the time they get there, I guess, you know, she finally caved in and left. The next day, she tried to come in. But I don't know if she did today or not. So every single day, she has tried to come in. Bryant said that I guess they had, the company had a review board about it. So California now is, and the city of Fresno now is rolling back the mask mandate now too. However, you have to be fully vaccinated, right? Which she's still going to be screwed. So this girl is saying that it's a violation of her civil rights. It's a violation of this. It's a violation of that, blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, oh my God. Then she calls, so then her husband, who's the engineer there, right? That's probably why she thinks she hot shit. He be walking around like he think he hot shit too. He's talking shit about everything. And I'm like, you guys can just, how about you just pack all your shit up and just move? Like, if you don't like it here, that's not like, even non-government type of, people be bitching about the weather here. People complain about every damn thing. And it's like, why don't you just damn move? Find another job. There are plenty of people who have done it. There are plenty of people that I've worked with at this facility that have found different jobs and straight up moved. Just move. And if you're not going to move, then shut the hell up. Like, I don't want to hear this every damn day. Like, people that have grown up here and they complain that it's hot. Bitch, you live in the Central Valley. Of course it's going to be hot. It gets hot here every damn year. All the time. This is nothing new. So why the fuck are you complaining about it? You guys, you will never hear me complain about the heat. You will hear me make a comment like, damn, it is fucking hot outside, or it's hot. That is not complaining. That is a statement. And that is it. Because Every place I have lived has been cold. And my job, while I was in my adult life, was an engine mechanic. And we worked outside a lot in the cold. When I was a drill instructor in Great Lakes, that's what straight up did me in. That is what did me in. Have to be out there in that butt-ass cold, and lake effect snow and everything. Nurse Rachel, I know you know what I'm talking about. All my Ohio friends, I know you know what I'm talking about. And with, you know, when you're a drill instructor in that type of atmosphere, if it's a certain chill condition, you got to be the first one out and the last one in. And do you think them recruits move? Do you think them recruits give two shits about whether you're cold or not? They sure don't. You'll be out there like any day recruit. You just want petty officer to freeze to death. That's all right. And because you do everything. And you are not allowed to be dressed warmer than the recruits. So, you know, I would be like, you're going to put everything on. And they'd be like, petty officer, I'm cold or I'm hot. I'll be like, I don't care. I'm like, I'm worried about your guys' health. You're going to stay bundled up. No. The truth is you're going to stay bundled up because my ass is fucking freezing and I'm not going to get in trouble because I got on more layers and nonsense than you do and get in trouble for not caring about recruit health. I was like, fuck recruit health. What about my health? These damn recruits have it, and recruits have it easy. They don't even realize it takes so much for so long for them to even realize the whole point of everything that they're doing. And when the light finally, that's one of the most rewarding things. When that light finally clicks and they get that aha moment, you're like, damn, it's about time. I've only been spending the last however many months with you guys, almost 24 hours a day, 6 to 7 days a week. And you're just now getting it. Anyway, so fast forward, we will see what else happens. But I talked to Tony, who is like one of the dudes I work with, and he said that she ain't been back, which is fine because she's annoying. I have a question, you guys. And this is a legit, why is my shit not lining up? Guys, don't be judging me how I'm placing these. I'm wondering why my shit is not lining up. There we go. I hope that don't pop. Anyway, so I have a legit question. Why do people chew on ice? Now, I was watching Lindsay from Lindsay Emerald and Fairy Lights, her whip and chat, and I know that she is anemic. But she says that she chews ice. So is that something that is done? Is that like normal, whatever? Because Elizabeth would be doing that shit at work, and it's not like first thing. It's like after lunch. After lunch, she gets her big old cup because we have ice machine at work and just starts like chowing down, and it's really actually kind of annoying because she's so loud about it. But she is also anemic as well. So is that like something that's normal? Like I'm not even making fun. I legit want to know so I can be educated. But it is fucking annoying. Not that you would be annoying, Lindsay, because I just have this feeling like you would politely chew your ice. I don't know. You just give off that vibe to me that you would be like polite about it. Where Elizabeth is over there like a damn cow, chomping like she's the only one in the office, and that all of us want to hear that nonsense. You can just tell that I'm just not a fan. And she don't watch my shit anyway. And even if she did, I don't give a fuck. I don't care if she watches this and gets mad or not. I don't care. I really don't. I do not care. Oh my goodness. So yeah, that's all I really have for right now, you guys. I will finish this up at another time, but so this is gonna be like a 2-part whip and chat. I'll just group it together. All right. Plus it's probably late as hell and I actually have to go to work. I can't be staying up all night diamond painting like I have been the last 2 nights. You think I would be a little bit further along, but what do you guys think? Did I get a good amount done? Let me turn this light pad off. Let me just see what you guys think. I think it looked pretty good, right? I got all this done. I really love the colors. What do you guys think? It's pretty. All right, you guys. Well, I'll check back in with you guys tomorrow. All right? I hope you have a good night. Bye. Hey guys, it's Brandon from Diamond Painting with the Besties. How are you? Yes, I am laying in bed because it has been a day. Well, as you can tell probably from the beginning of my whip and chat, it's been a week. So I went back and looked, and when I finished filming last night, I saw that I was over an hour, which I didn't even realize that I talked for that long. So I was like, oh, I really don't have to do very much at all. So I figured I'd just do a little face-to-face time with you guys. Today was a pretty busy day at work. Since I had been there for 3 days, I had a ton of emails and a bunch of stuff to catch up on and research and everything. And then I had to haul butt to the pool because they were doing, they do this little like pentathlon thing where it's just so Rhonda can get their splits. But they had Sierra Pacific, one of the other high schools, there as well, because the head coach of that team is Bella's high school coach's daughter. So instead of it being something fun and the kids to do some team bonding and what have you, excuse me, it basically turned into a competition, which Bella got super irritated. It was just, the vibe was annoying, and I couldn't wait for it to get done because I would, of course, had to do stroke and turn. So basically I just made lists of things that I saw that were either wrong or I didn't know what the hell I was looking at. I feel as though that on the sheets for disqualifications that there should be a section when you don't know what you're looking at. It should be in the other category of hot boo-boo mess. And then you can check off you were disqualified because your shit be looking hot boo-boo. The thing is, though, doesn't have to be pretty. It just has to be accurate. It's just frustrating because USA swimming rules and then high school rules for CIF, California Interscholastic Federation is, they're different. So I don't really pay as close attention. Plus, I'm like super burned out from doing it and I don't even want to anymore. If you guys look over here, you can see that Levi went to bed on his own and early and got in the spot. He all laid up on Bryant's pillow and stuff. Didn't you, baby? Didn't you, baby, Levi? Anyway, I did come home, and of course the pool is still draining. So they're going to come and do all the other stuff to it later. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. That was so rude. Yeah. Anyway, I don't want to keep you guys for long. I just want to kind of update you real quick and finish off the whip and chat kind of a little bit more proper, I guess you could say. Also, tomorrow, Distracted by Diamonds is supposed to be back from their vacation. And it says on there that there could be new canvases, waxes. Who knows? Who knows what Robin's got up her sleeve, but please, Lord Jesus, help my bank account. I can't be spending no money. I can't. So they better not have anything that I like. Oh, please don't have anything that I like. Please. All right, you guys. Well, I'm going to let you go. I hope you enjoyed this whip and chat. And I am sure I might be able to get back on a weekly schedule with it because things are just getting crazy and crazy. Crazy, crazy. All right. Well, enjoy your Friday. Enjoy your weekend. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.